one of the clips that I played earlier in the show is Joy Behar talking about Democrats, stop fighting with each other. Stop fighting against the Republicans who are causing this hell and this harm and this craziness. And the Republicans in the House. And so for me, my responsibility is to do the best that I can to keep galvanizing us and keep pulling us together. I think I'm pretty good at that in life in general, is pulling people together. And so with the show, I want to be able to do that. And you are one of the people that's allowed me to continue that work because of the work that you're doing and the information that you're putting out. But I also want to come back to this about what I was saying with Joy Behar. Our Dems can't be fighting against each other. We know that there's imperfections and there's stuff that they need to be doing better. But she said it best. Dems, stop fighting with each other. Fight against the Republicans, who are the ones at the tip of the spear, not challenging Donald Trump right now. I mean, what are your thoughts on that part right there? They're not challenging Donald Trump. Do you have some thoughts on that? Do you have an observation as to the why that they are not?
Richard, this really gets to what I've been writing about for over 10 years. The Democrats have such a great policy platform, but when it comes to being a political operation and messaging, I think we can all agree that they need a lot of work. But part of that is kind of intrinsic. It's to the ideals that they're trying to uphold. So you're never going to get the kind of a lockstep that you get on the right. That's not going to happen in a party that is prioritizing diversity, So could they be doing, first of all, the infighting? This is always a problem. I mean, we saw this in the 2016 election, and we saw it in the last election. The infighting, and I would say it isn't just our elected officials, but also, to talk to the base a bit. There is all this infighting about specific issues when we are fighting fascism. So we have to unify. And that means that, and we're watching the elected officials and the people that run the DNC, we're watching them fight about the things that the base is fighting about. And I think that the base can drive the party in the right direction. They have the power. They're the ones out there protesting. They're the ones getting their voices heard. And it's really important to use that energy to drive these people in the right direction. And I really disagree with so much of the framing that I hear right now about this kind of intergenerational fight. I think that's just absolute baloney. It's not about any of that, and in all of the ways that it's about, do you understand the mission? Do you understand what this time calls for? Are you going to stand up against fascism? Can you unify everybody in the party to vote in a way that at least uses if they're in the minority, use the power of the minority the best way that you can? Are they using the power of the minority the way the Republicans did? No, they're not. We have tyranny of the minority when the Republicans are in the minority. And then the Democrats want to get in and sort of bring back right the ship by respecting everything. And I have long pushed for that because it's, that's how we thought we would reestablish, because this has been decades in the making. It didn't just happen with Donald Trump. But that didn't work. And that's sweeping the problem under the rug. It has not been addressed directly. The problem is that the people on the left and the people in the party, the leaders, have to realize that none of the little issues, and they're not little. I don't mean to dismiss them. What I'm trying to say is, in the broader scope of things, the issues that we have, the issues that we care about and we want to fight for, are irrelevant if we don't have a democracy, because they'll never be addressed if we lose our democracy. So we have to put that as the priority. And I think certain groups within the Democratic Party are so used to putting their own needs aside and used to being the workhorses of the party and being ignored. But there are some voices in the party that are used to having all the power and not having to do all that work and still having all the power. And I think that they're trying to grab hold of and keep hold of the party.
Yeah.
But I do And I also want to zero out, or zoom out, because when Trump is in office, it's always this constant chaos. It's constant drama. We are all inundated. We're demoralized. Our whole systems are activated constantly in a state of stress. And I kind of want to zoom out and point out that Donald Trump is losing on almost every front right now. And he is still hurting people around the globe and in this country, and he will continue to do that. So I'm not trying to minimize the impact of him, but I want people to see that these protests that they've participated in and need to continue participating in have undermined him to such an extent, and the legal struggles, because I think it's 96% he's lost in federal court in May.
Yep.
These things are all telling a story of someone who isn't a strong man and isn't a dictator and isn't going to accomplish this sort of insurgent fascism that he's trying to impose. More so, I think that taco accusation that came out.
I was waiting for you to get to that. I was like, let me be quiet and let Sarah make her point. Listen, guys, we are talking with Sarah Jones of Politicus USA here on Choose Views this morning. Sarah, as we take a soft turn around the bend, man, taco trade. Good Lord, is that? I mean, okay. From a messaging, from a how do we want to say, from a perspective of two folks, meaning you and me, that know how to throw a punch. Man, has this got a lot of political messaging punch in it, and the Dems just have got to grab onto it, tease the hell out of him about taco trade. It needs to be like constant. And if I'm crazy, tell me. But good God. The tantrums that he threw after that to you, that you pointed out in your article.
I think people need to show up at protests like with chicken heads and waving chickens up in the air, because it really bothered him. And that's exactly right, because he puts on the show that he did in his reality show. That's what he's playing president, right? He's playing strongman. But now he's been called out, and this is an international humiliation. So he's humiliated here by the courts. He's humiliated. Trump always chickens out. If anybody missed the taco trade, this is, you can't come back from that. To have it, world leaders know that economists say, hey, don't even pay attention to his tariffs because Trump always chickens out. Yeah. And that's right, he does. He is, and that's why this bill is so important to him, right? Because he's competing with Joe Biden. He doesn't actually even care except about the ways that he's shoveling money to his oligarchical entourage and to his own family and to himself. He doesn't care about legislation. This is all so he can puff up his ego and say he got something done that was bigger than Joe Biden. Never mind that what Joe Biden did was actually to strengthen this country, to strengthen our alliances internationally with to push democracy and to create jobs here and to shore up our supply chains. No, all of that is, doesn't even matter to Trump. Trump isn't destroying those things. And I think that's the other thing that people, I've been saying this from the beginning, when I've noticed the way that he approached this, because we all knew the Project 2025 playbook, I was afraid he was going to come in and not do that stuff right away, and instead do some populist things to shore up his popularity, right? Yes. Oh my gosh, I wrote that from the beginning. I've been saying this is actually such a relief. He didn't do those things. If he had done those things, we wouldn't have people in the streets. We wouldn't have these protests because people would be like, oh man, my grocery prices went down. I'm happy, whatever, I'm going to go back to complacency, which is where this country has been for so long. But he's kicked everybody out of complacency. And by the way, I just want to say, yesterday I wrote something about Elon Musk. Sorry, I'm this whole thing is shaping up so well in a way.
About don't let them gaslight Elon Trump's. Elon. Did you hear what I just said? I said Elon
and
Trump.
That was right. Exactly, and that's exactly right. Elon Trump, that's exactly right. That should be next to the
Wow.
chickens at the protest, because it is that.
Don't
Yeah.
let the title of the article, which is great, guys. Don't let them gaslight Elon Musk exit. Talk about that article and your meaning there, Sarah.
Well, because, I've been writing from the beginning, as soon as Elon came in, that Trump
unification that we need. And that's why I'm so proud and thankful to be able to be working with you and having you on the show and having you bring your brand of just great journalism to our audience across the country, because it means a lot, the work that you do, Sarah. As we wrap up, let folks once again know how they can find you, how they can link to your work and really be able to take part in the great things that you're doing.
Well, I'm so glad to be on the show with you, and I really enjoy your work. So that just makes it so much better. People can find me at Politicus USA and also at The Daily with Sarah Jones. And I'm on social media as at Politicus Sarah. So it's POLITICUS SARAH. And we would love to. We have a good community of commenters as well on both of the Substacks, the Politicus USA and the Daily with Sarah Jones. And we like to interact with people. We're doing a lot of live video over there too to answer people's questions now, because as things get heated up, as I'm sure you deal with your audience, people have a lot of questions right now, especially about this bill and everything. So we'd love to see you guys over there. And thank you so much for having me.